Alright everybody, here's one of the many abandoned houses in Newberry Springs that was taken over by the sand dunes. I looked on Google Maps and it showed that there's quite a few of them out here. And we're going to go through as many as we can, and I'll tell you a little bit about the place. Alright everybody, if you ever wondered what a house full of sand looks like, well, I'm about to show you. It looks like it's pretty filled with sand, so I don't know how far we're going to be able to go in. But we're going to do our best, as long as there's no rattlesnakes in here. I really don't want to go down there in case that sand traps me in there. Take a look at this. Literally just by touching the boards, you can see the sand coming in. Look at that. All the way up to the rafters. And the one thing I found online when I was researching this place is some of these houses, you can't really tell if they were single level or double level. So this could be the second floor right here. And as you can see, the sand is just pouring out of the windows. All right, looks like this one was a garage or some sort of shop. So I think we can actually get into this one. Almost all the way up to the roof here. Let's go inside here and see what we can find from the early days of Newberry Springs. Just gotta be careful out here because this is like a haven for rattlesnakes. Get a load of all that sand. Just years and years and years of wind blowing all that right in here. Let's see what we got here. Maxwell House Coffee. My favorite kind of coffee. Thumbs up. All right, I think we just hit the jackpot here. Okay, let's go inside. Check that out. Old TV and stereo set back there. Man, someone really did a number on this one. RCA. RCA stands for really crappy appliance. Looks like we got a keyboard here. Old magazines. Hey, Colonial Homes! I'm pretty sure my mom used to subscribe to this. Okay, so if finding a bunch of abandoned houses consumed by sand isn't creepy enough, take a look at this. 2 teddy bears buried up to their heads in sand. I hope this isn't some sort of omen. Anyways, rest in peace. Alright, so right here we would have what I would guess one of the last houses that actually tried to stay here as long as they could. They tried to put up this wall around it to kind of keep out the sand, but, I mean, as you can see, it didn't really work. Maybe it worked for a while, but over years and years and years, I'm sure it only, put off the inevitable. It's well above the house at this point. Let's take a look inside here. Man, you can see they have like an old stove over there. Alright, so far so good. Just gotta keep our eye out for rattlesnakes because this is the type of area where they love to hang out. We are so walking through there next. Alright everybody, so we're gonna head down this hallway and kind of poke our head in each of these rooms real quick. This is just another entrance. I wanted to be cool and hop through the window like the rebel that I am. Here's our first room. As you can see, this just would have been the bathroom here. Alright, now let's take a look at this one here on the left. Yeah. That's creepy. It's not every day you see a ripped off Barbie head doll sitting on a sand dune in the middle of an abandoned house. Creepy. To kind of give you a more sense of scale here, look at that ceiling fan. Sand dune is just like maybe like 1.5 feet away from it. Alright, let's keep this moving. Last thing we want is this place to collapse on us and become a part of history. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm actually crouching down right now because I'm so close to the ceiling. Oh, look at that. A vest. And it looks like a kid's Easter basket. I'm guessing they never found it. Here's another room. Looks like this one would have just been another bathroom. 1, 2 teddy bears. It's like the Call of Duty map.
While we may not know who lived in this home and what they did, it was very clear by the amount of toys and stuffed animals scattered around that they certainly had kids. Looking at this place in the condition that it's in now and seeing the sand literally take over, it's almost incomprehensible that at one point in time this was a lively household with a family, children playing in the yard, and a mom and dad tending to household needs, and ultimately a place that someone once called home.
So after taking a look at this house right here and seeing all these pipes that are kind of sticking out the top, it makes me wonder if there aren't a lot more houses out here just completely buried. Aside from like these pipes and whatnot right here, I've seen a lot of black pipes just sticking out of the ground in multiple places. Really makes you wonder how many more could be buried out here. Quick shout out to my DJI Mavic Air 2 drone. I decided to get it up in the air a little bit and fly around the surrounding area and see what else was here. And I found what was partially exposed of this old brick house here. As you can see, we got the chimney right there, although I doubt Santa Claus is going to be coming down that chimney anytime soon. And like I said before, who knows how many more buildings are out here? We can only see what is exposed on this side here, but I'm assuming the rest of this brick house goes underneath the sand here. And if you just take a look out in the desert here, who knows how many more garages, houses, sheds, cars, bikes, or what else could be buried underneath all this sand. And yet again, here's another one. We just keep walking and we just keep finding them. Seeing the sand dune right here, like almost taking over the entire house, kind of reminds me of that ghost town called St. Thomas in Lake Mead. And the reason I say that is because when Hoover Dam was built, the river was getting higher and higher and higher, and it was slowly covering the homes. Kind of the same thing here, only instead of water, it's just sand dunes. Could you imagine living here and day by day, the sand level just increases little by little? All right, guys, get a load of this. Looks like we got an old muscle car here. At first, I thought this was an old Mustang, but I'm pretty sure it's not because the back end of Mustangs was a little more elongated than this. And judging by those taillights, it's kind of a dead giveaway. Maybe it's an old Chevelle? Potentially. I don't see any decals and it looks like the engine's been ripped out. Give you guys a look at the front end here. For any of you car people on my channel here, if you know what kind of car this is, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. No emblem on the steering wheel. That would have been another helpful hint. Looks like we got a toilet in the driver's seat. I don't know too many cars that were manufactured with toilets in the driver's seat, so that's a first.
So now the obvious question is, how did this happen? How did the sand dunes take over these homes, forcing residents to relocate? Surely it didn't happen overnight. One would imagine measures could have been taken to prevent the buildup of sand and from slowly creeping into the homes. I mean, after all, one homeowner did try to combat this by putting up a wall. Well, here's what happened. According to the LA Times, the link will be provided in the description, in the beginning, sand started to build up on some of the nearby roads, which can be pretty common out in the desert. However, in an effort to gain control of the situation, local maintenance crews started to collect the sand and dump it further down in the Mojave River channel on the east side of the road. Now we're talking tons and tons of sand over the course of about 22 years. Now the part in the article that I found kind of entertaining was after the road crews would dump it, the winds would eventually blow all that loose sand out in all directions, but primarily back west where it had originated. County road crews didn't even question where the sand was disappearing to. Like, we're talking loads and loads of sand disappearing after each trip with not even the slightest suspicion of where it's going. But eventually, the maintenance crews stopped dumping sand once the complaints started blowing in. See what I did there? Anyways, the impacted residents pointed the finger at the county, while the county denied the accusation, saying they couldn't be solely responsible for the buildup of sand, stating there were other factors such as off-road enthusiasts, the installing of utility lines, and the residents themselves from pumping water from the river. All these activities could have disturbed the desert floor, resulting in the drying up of the riverbed and causing loose sand. And in fact, the homeowners tried to sue the county for damages so they could relocate, but the county countersued for the previous stated reasons. And here's a quote from one of the previous residents that lived in the area since 1948. Quote, "In 40 years, we never had a sand problem, and we've been through drought and wind. Then this?" she said. "How can it be explained, except that it's man-made?" End quote. And according to RaiseTheStakesEditions.com, some residents stayed there until the early 2000s. Now, after getting my drone in the air and driving around, I did notice that there were many homes in the nearby area still, but it's clear that they weren't as heavily impacted by the sand dunes compared to the homes in the area that I explored. But it is worth noting that the sand in the area is still an issue to this very day, with continuous efforts going on to keep the streets as free of sand as possible. It is ironic when you think about it, though. Over the course of just 30 years, poor road management and planning caused a small neighborhood of homes to be consumed by nature. Then people like myself and other urban explorers traveled to the area to take a look at the aftermath and try to piece things together to make sense of what happened. Almost like what an archaeologist does when they stumble upon a relic or an ancient civilization.